Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to News Today. We are coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle. We're on DTT because we're free to air on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. This afternoon, scores of Ghanaians and various groupings pour onto the street to join the NDC in protesting the controversial E-levy policy. We're live at the demonstration ground. For more on this, the opposition NDC fights of claims ASSIN North MP CHIRANO is deliberately evading court processes. The MP is a subject of multiple legal actions that can potentially affect his stay in Parliament. He's yet to show up in court though. Also, youth of Adan pour on the streets protesting the takeover of Songo Lagoon by Electric Ghana for salt mining. We have details shortly for you. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Remember, we are also streaming live on YouTube and all our social media handles are Joy News on TV. Tweet at us with the hashtag News Today. My personal handle is @Benana Aisha. My Instagram handle Aisha Joy News, and subscribe to my YouTube account at Aisha-TV. Please stay for details. Many thanks for choosing us. Since from the YENTUA demonstration in Accra to protest the controversial E-levy policy. The levy, since its announcement by the finance minister, has led to vigorous debates and near fisticuffs in Parliament. In an unprecedented move to get it passed, the government has held several meetings to convince the public, but there is still a groundswell of support against the levy. The NDC says it is opposed to the tax because it will further worsen the plight of the ordinary Ghanaian. The General Secretary of the NDC was on the ground himself.
The problem is that the government is not credible. So what the people are saying is that this government has been playing monkey business with Ghanaians for more than 5 years now. That is the point. It's not about what they are saying. So you don't cite what liars tell you. You don't rely on what people who are not trustworthy will be communicating to you. So the problem is that there is no trust. There is a trust deficit between the citizens and the government. And so that is why it will not serve any purpose to now be arguing based on what liars are telling you. They cannot handle monies, and they have proven so far that they have messed us up. You took an economy which was rated at B+. You came down to B, came down to B-. You are now at C. So how can you tell us that we are on the right path? So you are now coming to tell us what will be a panacea for our economic problem. We are deep in an economic mess, and the word of government cannot be relied upon any longer. And so we are urging government that the business of running the country is the business of every Ghanaian. The business of building an economy which we intend handing over to the youth must concern the youth themselves. That is why the youth is coming up to say that, look, stay here. All the loans that you are acquiring, you are bringing monies that should be available to the youth in future forward for your own consumption. And you are not leaving any property. You are not engaged in any investment with which the youth will be repaying the monies when they grow old. So that is the message we are sending them. So we are on the wrong path. We are in a deep mess, and we cannot borrow ourselves out of a debt situation, and we cannot dig ourselves out of a trench.
The process was also about the general hardship and the strike by UTAG. Here are some students who participated in the protest.
You know, like when you go to the tertiary institutions, we have TESCON, we have TESCON. We've seen how this UTAG strike has affected like our students on campus. So we decided to join them to embark on this protest.
Okay. Thank you. Let me speak to some of them. I'll come back to you. I'm hearing hashtag sack the education minister.
Yeah, because we are suffering.
Suffering? How are you?
Yes,
suffering?
it's been 5 weeks now. We are not learning anything. We are just in school spending money.
You are not learning. That's why you decided to take part in this protest.
Yes, we are not learning. We need our lectures back.
Okay.
We need to graduate and go far. Okay. We are the future leaders of Ghana, so we need something better.
So that's why you're taking part in this?
Yes, please. Yes.
What about the E-levy?
The E-levy is so... It doesn't make sense. Like, apparently, it doesn't make sense. Okay. Why do you charge high for common students? Assuming I'm supposed to receive something as chop money for school, only the charges will make my parents not want to send me. It's not fair. Okay. It's not fair. The government should do something about it.
This government is projecting to raise 6.9 billion from the E-levy. They tell us it is the same E-levy they will use to construct roads. Already, government is owing contractors, road contractors loan, 4.5 billion. Every sector.
The roads and highways minister says that we will be able to pay road contractors comes into force.
A government that has accumulated 342 billion, but has messed up with it. They were corrupt. They could not create jobs with it. You think it is 6.9 billion that will have?
Some of the protesters who spoke to Join You say that tax is simply not the way forward, considering the high standard of living.
No matter on your Juma, and the beginning say, I bet one. I am in them, a judge for. Yes, Rana, some in another say, I am a jack, did Miss Sakufado, because of the book from me planet show. On sister, no use I didn't film near one toilet. What's the matter with me? What's the me the adroya boa. Me and I'm a Tuabamano, me Tuabama Kufuado, me Tuaman to say the Oyano. My babu ebu, my broso, I must say, oh, be coming to me, can be. I tell them, who near my cassia, and yes, a jolly fire and the channel, the other man there, I know you're the Maya, and to Miss Sano, because of the good form. Oh, my, the iron, or some Kakrama, yes, Rena, what's the morning, and going. Yes, Rano, Tony, they are panicha, one time you Maya. You never need to and it's shout. You got the funny, you bless so far. You so safe. They say so far, you shout. Only you never need to. When we are my body, the former, yeah, bread, your panicha.
I see a panicha. First, young people are Talia. When I'm a new boat, intimation. And quiet. And to say, be our big country and a young year to a man. Once it's a kind of let go of it.
So those are excerpts of the YENTUA demonstration. You heard protesters there lamenting over the general hardship. They were lamenting over the E-levy, and they said they're pleading with government to take out the E-levy because right now market women are suffering. They don't make sales when they go to the market. Students are begging government to bring back their lecturers because they say they go to school only to spend money without lecturers actually teaching them and what have you. My colleague Manuel Kranting is on the ground for us. He's joined us live. Manuel, we understand various groupings joined the protest today. Run them by us. I think we lost Manuel Kranting, but definitely he will join us back to give us the interesting sights and sounds from that protest. But of course, if you just joined us, it's a protest which was organized by a coalition of concerned Ghanaians. It's made up of the NDC and other pressure groups. We've seen coalition of students who have also joined the protests, and they've been lamenting over their teachers who are on strike. We've heard from the General Secretary of the NDC, Asiedu Nketia, and other big wigs of the party who say the Akufo-Addo-led government has not done justice to the people, and they're asking the government to sit up, especially with the E-levy. Manuel Kranting, we understand that a lot more people joined the demonstration. Run them by us. Who joined the demonstration?
The rank and file of the NDC party, of course, led by the chairman of the party, Samuel Popo, and then also the general secretary of the party, Johnson Nketia, who have both been sounding a real caution to President Akufo-Addo and his government, saying that any attempt to pass the E-levy will be fiercely resisted. There's a question that we posed to Johnson Nketia that in the most unlikely event that the policy is passed, what will be the NDC's response to that? And he categorically stated that a future NDC government will do well to abolish the E-levy, if at all it is passed by the Akufo-Addo government. And at this point, we're told that the protesters will be heading towards Parliament to present a petition to the Speaker of the House, Alban Sumalakis Bagbing. They say that knowing of the large public disapproval for the E-levy, they want to formalize this particular petition with the Speaker of Parliament and ask him to make sure that the bill is not passed into law. So generally, this is the picture that we're seeing here. Quite a number of other groupings have shown solidarity, if you like, attached themselves to this particular demonstration. We've seen the Concerned Drivers Association here. We've seen also the Concerned University Students Association. We've seen the Okada Riders, and we've seen the Ghana Union of Students Association. All of them arriving here with representatives sounding different levels of caution to President Akufo-Addo and his government, all to the end that a passage of the E-levy will be detrimental to their individual businesses. For example, the Headquarters Association, as they have called popularly in a space, the KAI, they say that most of them hail from up north, and they are here to work and remit some income to their families, and they do so in bits. And so any attempt to cut the means through which they remit their support to their family, that is the Momo, will be inimical to their progress, and of course reduce the amount of money that they send to their family up north. And so generally these are different sectors, like different groupings that are all registering their displeasure for the E-levy in much varied ways and varied levels.
Manuel Kranting is our man there, and you heard him report that other people joined and solidarized with the organizers of the YENTUA demonstration, and he's been highlighting some of the issues that they raised at the protest, and they're talking about the E-levy. They say government must not make any attempt because they will fiercely resist any attempt that will bring in the E-levy, and they say they will present a petition to Parliament and urge the Speaker not to allow for the E-levy to pass. They've also been talking about UTAC strike. You must have seen students join the YENTUA demonstration. They say they want their lecturers back in school. We'll bring you more in our subsequent bulletin on the YENTUA demonstration. But let's stay with the NDC. The opposition NDC has fought off claims ASSIN North MP James Jachikwason is deliberately evading court processes. The MP is the subject of multiple legal actions that can potentially affect his stay in Parliament. He's yet to show up in court. His lawyers today informed the Supreme Court they had filed an application to challenge an earlier ruling of the Supreme Court. But spokesperson for the individual who has been fighting Mr. Kwason in court, Richard Mensah, says the MP is bent on delaying the court.
You have brought your application before the Supreme Court, and everything is being done to prevent the Supreme Court from hearing their own application. And that's very surprising, that you think that you have a case and you want the Supreme Court to determine that case on its merit. So what I thought you were afraid of, that you are doing everything possible to stop the Supreme Court from hearing your own case or your own application. Well, in court last 3 days, that's last Tuesday, where the Supreme Court was to hear their own application for the Supreme Court to set aside Cape Coast Court of Appeals decision and asking the Supreme Court to refer to its interpretation Article 94 2A. And when the case came up for hearing, the lawyer for James Jachikwason, that's lawyer Chachikata, got up and said that the first interested party, which is Ankmanifa, response to their application got to them on the 3rd. And per the rules of the Supreme Court, they had 7 days within which to file a response. And the 7-day period had not expired. And for that reason, they had a problem as to why the registrar of the court had to sit down for hearing of their case. And that they needed more time to file their response. Then the court, for abridgment of time, adjourned to today. And today we came to court all for us to be served with a process from James Jachikwason and his lawyers seeking a review of the Supreme Court's decision last Tuesday to adjourn the case to today. And we are surprised that it's your own case that you have put before the court. Allow the court to hear your case and determine it on its merit. So why is it that everything is being done by James Jachikwason and his lawyers to certify the process and prevent the Supreme Court from hearing? On that basis, the Supreme Court has adjourned their own application, the hearing of their own application, to 22nd of February, and the review application will be moved on the 15th of February, that's next week. So that's exactly what has happened. But as I've always been saying, it is a delay strategy, a delay task that they are employing. But they say that the wheels of justice grind slowly, but it shall definitely get to its destination. They cannot, and I repeat, they cannot employ this delayed tactics in perpetuity. This case shall surely come up for determination, and in the end, justice will be served in the form of a judgment on this case.
NDC Director of Legal Affairs, Abraham Amaliba, has been responding to these allegations.
That is false. We are here to deal with the rules of court. The rules of court require that when a motion is filed and then there is a reply and you also need to respond to some of the issues raised in the motion, you are given 7 days. Here we are given less than 7 days. And that ruling is what we are contesting. So we'll file a review application of the decision of the court to give us lesser number of days to file our response. Now, the delay is not occasioned by we who are interested in ensuring that the case moves on. The delay is occasioned by the court's own decision to shortchange our time period. And so we decided that we'll come by a review so that the court will give us more time to file our responses. And so there's no delay here. We are going by the rules of court, and the rules of court provide that you give the party 7 days to respond. Here we are, we're given lesser number of days to respond.
The other issue that has come up is the fact that your client is not showing up in court. I mean, we've seen various applications against him. In this particular instance, his own application, he was not present in court again. Is he deliberately evading service?
Not at all. Not at all. You know, he's a member of Parliament, and he's doing his work in Parliament. He goes to Parliament. He's not in hiding. He doesn't need to be here himself. There's somebody who was to represent him, and the last time the person was in court. This time the person came in late. But all in all, he as a member of Parliament cannot just defy the Constitution, which gives him protection, and then go out there and say, I am standing on the Independence Square, come and serve me. The Constitution, Article 117, protects all members of Parliament and says that on your way to Parliament and returning from Parliament, you cannot be served. And so it is for the bailiffs to find ways of ensuring that they are able to serve him without breaching the Constitution. There has been a gentleman's agreement where the Speaker of Parliament has requested that if there are processes to be served on members of Parliament, they come through him. Why is that they don't want to go through the Speaker? They actually did, but they were told that the Speaker was coming. So fine, the Speaker is not going to be away forever. And so it is important that they also understand that the Constitution must be abided. The Constitution must be respected. And I'm talking about Article 117, which says that on its way to Parliament and returning from Parliament, civil proceedings or criminal processes cannot be filed, cannot necessarily on him.
Adamango Bay Soothsayer Zainatu Amoni and her husband Yusuf Amoni have been put before the Bole Magistrate Court for the torture of the 70-year-old Isahako Muhammadu. The police arrested the couple Tuesday night for accusing Isahako Muhammadu of being a wizard. The two are facing assault and abetment of crime charges. Isaac Nonya is a Savannah region correspondent. He joins us with more. Isaac, what more can you tell us on this arrest?
Yes, the two of them, their charges were read to them and were asked to enter their plea. But the both couples said they were not guilty to the charges of assault and then abetment of crime. The magistrate of the court, His Lordship Prince Kujo, reminding them of what happened in Damago 2 days ago. They say yes, they were in their houses when the people marched into the place. So they did not go out, neither did they touch the victim. They were there. So for that matter, they are not guilty. It was also surprising to see a good number of residents of Tamale, those who marched to the police station, a good number of them came to the court in solidarity of the woman in particular, the witch doctor, because this is somebody who has been there for them in terms of treatment and care. So the magistrate reminded them that anything they say today, if they try to enter a different plea, then they will be held to that. But they still on the ground saying that they are not guilty. So at the moment, they are still at the court trying to hear their adjournment day where they will be brought back to court.
Isaac Nonya with updates on the arrest of those who pronounce a 70-year-old man as a witch. Let's go back to the demonstration ground. Manuel Kranting is there for us. Manuel, where are the demonstrators right now?
Activities in this country have not seen this level of media participation. And it is because the media themselves are impacted or will be impacted negatively by the electronic TV levy. That is why all of you have come in your numbers. They're saying that a housefly that refuses to listen to advice follows the corpse to the grave. President Akufo-Addo is refusing to listen to advice. So he must be guided that citizens' revolt can lead to a tumultuous upheaval in this country. We will continue to use peaceful means to manifest our abhorrence against this electronic thievery levy. And to the extent that it constitutes thievery, we will remain on the streets. This is just the beginner. There will be many more manifestations, not only in Accra, but across the other regions and probably the constituencies. And the next time we'll be doing a demonstration in Accra, it will not be a one-day demonstration, it will not be a two-day demonstration, it will not be a three-day demonstration, it will be a continuous one-week demonstration. Thereafter, we will advise ourselves on the next strategic steps that we'll take. The people of Ghana says that President Akufo-Addo should honor his own word he was the one who said in 1995 that any policy that the government brings about which is unfavorable, that policy must be withdrawn and jettisoned. He said this to President Rawlings. Today, he's bringing about a policy that is unfavorable, is inimical, is bad, is wicked, and above all, is a crime. The people of Ghana say, redraw it. Why is President Akufo-Addo impervious to advice?
He said that this disagreement over the E-levy is what he calls unnecessary disputation. He says that, I mean, if you understand the reason he's introducing the levy, that is for the construction of roads, for the construction of hospitals, schools, and so on.
6.9 billion is not what we need to construct the roads. The government of Ghana in the 2022 budget statement has earmarked revenue to the tune of 137.5 billion Ghana cedis. 137.5 billion cedis. So even if you take the 7 billion, that is just a microcosm of the amount of money the government of Ghana is going to raise. So if over the years, cocoa money could not give us roads, cocoa money could not give us free education, cocoa money could not give us, if over the years, gold money could not deliver us, if over the years, oil money could not deliver us, if over the years, the many taxes that Akufo-Addo has taken from us, including Bola tax and COVID-19 tax, cannot deliver us, certainly, electronic TV levy cannot deliver us.
And so as you are going to Parliament, are we to expect that you are going to occupy again the space of Parliament? I've seen your mat again today is here.
I think that you are fascinated about the matter. I'll buy you one so that you can also sleep on it.
And so that is Bernard Bona. He is a leader of Justice for Ghana Pressure Group. In fact, they have gone ahead to indeed hold a number of other similar demonstrations, and in fact also threaten to occupy Parliament and the precincts of same. Indeed, at this point, he says that President Akufo-Addo must listen to people, and makes reference to a 1995 statement made by the president that if a policy is unpopular, it must be jettisoned by government, and so he's calling for same to happen. Let me speak to this gentleman. My name is Manuel Kwante. What's your name, sir?
I'm Simon Kwame Mauku.
Simon, why are you joining this demonstration?
I'm joining this because we've given you a lot of money, we've not seen anything, and this few pill note. Your eye is on this pill note. What can you do with this 6 point something? In billions of cities, in billions of dollars, no, you don't deserve anything again. You see, we've given a huge amount of money. You know, I'm a security personnel. Okay. But what I'm doing, they take tax out from my salary. No, my salary is going, if I'm enjoying it, if I'm enjoying the tax, I won't say anything.
Manuel Kranting with protesters out there, and they say they are marching to Parliament to present a petition to stop the E-levy and also demand that lecturers are given what due them so they can go back to the classrooms. Now, communities along the Songo Lagoon are asking government to cancel agreement which leases over 40,000 acres of the area to Electrochem Ghana Limited. Addressing the people after the demonstration, Chief of Thelom Nene Dadebom Enim II says Electrochem has taken away their source of livelihood and this must be reversed. The indigents, who say they are custodial owners of the Songo Lagoon, insist the mining lease granted to Electrochem Ghana Limited to mine salt in the area does not take into consideration the economic plight of the locals whose sole livelihood depends on the Songo Lagoon. Our reporter Kwame Yanka, who's been monitoring this for us, joins us with more on this. Kwame Yanka, so these residents who are protesting this and asking the government to reinstate their livelihood, what kind of engagement went in before this happened?
Okay, so Asha, clad in red with their placard and what have you, they are saying that they would want government to use the necessary procedures, engaging families, communities, and those who really matter as far as Songo Lagoon salt operations is concerned. For them, although Parliament has given the approval for Electrochem and the Magdan Group to operate in the area, they believe the company is actually due just a little over 12,000 acres, and not the current over 40,000 acres the company is said to be enjoying. And they believe that once the necessary procedures are used, well, their source of livelihood actually will turn to them, and then they can live as it were, because for them, in as much as the company will be employing hands and what have you from the area, it's not as cannot be compared to they having being the rightful owners, having the area to themselves. So they want government to sit, cancel the agreement as it were, and then start the entire process again, leaving just 12,000 acres to Electrochem Ghana Limited, and then the rest can be considered under the families and communities who matter in this thing.
Well, the leaders who led this protest, were they not engaged before this land was handed over to Electrochem Ghana?
No, for them, they are saying that government bypassed all these families and communities, and then handpicked a few who do not have the final say when it comes to the Songo salt operations. So they believe government has bypassed, circumvent the process just to make sure that an individual, in this sense, Magdan, to get benefits without these families being included or communities.
So what do they intend to do to push government to actually heed to their calls?
Okay, so for them, the demonstration is one of the means by which they will continue to drum home their concerns, and until government that's the need for, they will continue to agitate and then make sure that the right thing is done. They were also supposed to have presented a petition after the demonstration to the paramount chief of the area in the person of Nene Kabu Akko III. But then there was also a court document which was supposed to be served, but the rest that came a bit late. Per information, that came a bit late, so it wasn't possible to restrain residents from just protesting today. But then the paramount chief as well would not respect the decision of the court, so that receiving the petition or the petition from these people would then go against the injunction placed. So they didn't want to receive the residents. So the police also restricted them from presenting their petition to the paramountcy.
Kwame Yanka is our man in Adan, bringing us up to speed to the protest on the Songo Lagoon. If you just joined us, you're watching Joy News today. We're live from our studios in Kokomlemle. We're on DTT because we're free to air. We'll take a break. When we return, there's more from business.
Hello, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. Prices of some essential goods and services, including food, transportation, and rent, have shot up, with inflation soaring, impacting on the cost of living. How are you coping? Emmanuel Bright Kwaku engaged a section of the public in Kumasi and has come through with this report.
Abdul Wahab Abubakari, a bicycle repairer at Bobine, a suburb of the Asokore Mampong municipality. The 48-year-old and his family live in an uncompleted house.
Uncompleted building. Kanya ni ha, toilet ni ha, bibie ni ha. Na ya wo be ma de. On si obo anye bibia enyi yi. E kasa me 20 million kura mra na ma me dan over me ni bi. So me ni bi, dia ade chia me nkwala di ko school kura e den ma me. Na me kwa rent dan.
The father of four says funding for his family is expensive with his daily commission of 10 Ghana cedis.
Baskets na me repair. And baskets no emma de bia. Emma de bia. It me once with man ya bear with 10 cedis we no anu na teko.
Working formerly as an apprentice at a mill, he managed with his meager for his financial upkeep. Now, he has to resort to other alternative businesses to make ends meet.
Tensis, we are ready to be say, and a room will be say. In the course, it may be bad now to wash him. I'm on for 2 blocks or more chania. Now to walk with him. Send a baby pon, Benyo Kakrawa, and yes, Okas would be basket and Chikurana Massa. We saw 3 days, no young Scamma on Colas or Munko school.
Similar to Wahab's situation, Adam relies on his wife for his family's upkeep, a situation he describes as demeaning as the head of the family.
Sometimes me in a boy, me say me age more. Really support me. A month, you back a cabuma and roof family and.
The father of 6 has been working as a tailor for 40 years, a profession he tells me hitherto could cater for the basic needs of his family. But today, the economic situation in the country is crippling his business.
About one, Ebabano, Obe charge, I just can't or this can I feel as for Samba. Be high. Pia couldn't. Yes, yeah. Also, government uncles are on there. Obu be I am reform. Because you see, I was Kenisu.
Ghana's poverty rate is estimated to have slightly increased from 25% in 2019 to 25.5% in 2020. For persons like Wahab and Adam, their only hope is for a bright light at the end of the tunnel. For Joy News, Emmanuel Bright Kweku, Kumasi.
And it's not getting any better as inflation soars. Now, 24 underprivileged students in the Western region have received scholarships for their duration of studies at the tertiary level from CHIRANO Gold Mine Limited. The $26,000 worth of scholarship is part of the mine's effort to economically empower the youth and human resource capital in its catchment communities. Managers say the mine has so far spent a total of $43,000 for 2 batches of students. There's more in this report.
6 students were awarded the General Manager Scholarship Scheme and 18 students were awarded the CHIRANO Foundation Scholarship Scheme. Last year, 30 students benefited from the scheme, and this brings to a total of 54 the number of students currently being fully funded at the tertiary level by the company. The total spent on this year's scholarship is 153,000 Ghana cedis, bringing the total annual spend on scholarships to 260,000 Ghana cedis, including the first batch. Terence Watungwa is Vice President of the CHIRANO Gold Mine Limited.
CHIRANO Gold Mines recognizes education as a critical support element in the advancement of our local communities. And as you are aware, over the years we've sponsored educational infrastructure such as classrooms, ICT labs, and teachers' quarters. And on that note, I'm very proud and excited to announce that next week CHIRANO will commission a new junior high school block for the community of Echogo.
Andila Dansowa Bwajoa, a student of the University of Mines and Technology, studying minerals engineering, on behalf of the awardees, lauded the company for the establishment of the CHIRANO Foundation Scholarship.
I stand on behalf of all the awardees and everyone here and give the most gratitude to the management team, the company as a whole. I would like to take this opportunity to caution or advise our awardees to take this opportunity or the scholarship given us that we should study very hard and improve in our academics so that our next generation will also be offered this opportunity.
The head of Inspectorate Division of GES Western North Region, Felix Akumenin, expressed gratitude to the company for their immense contribution to the development of education in the region.
Having granted our students this opportunity, we are so much grateful to you for what you have done. We want also to say that to my students, we believe that from where you have come from, you're going to make us proud wherever you are today.
Anita Sawajuge's report, read to you.
For Joy News today, my name is Aisha Ibrahim. Many thanks for watching. Do enjoy the rest of our programs.